The problem that you have is that all of these loans, good or bad, by your own admission, even if they are loans, even if they're legally enforceable, you say the primary term for paying back is this: when you are ready and financially in a position, I want the money. When has she been in a financial position to pay you back?
She hasn't been. Because of the fire, how could I have let her have nothing? No clothes, nothing.
The reason you're at court today is because now the shoe is on the other foot. And you find yourself in circumstances where you're desperate for the money.
Yep.
Insofar as you can you help me with why?
Yeah, so I was working at a company and I started having blackouts, which forced me to basically leave. So I had to leave the company to try and find out what was happening and why it was happening. And they got to a conclusion it could be a blood clot in the brain. So that's what I've been trying to get my head around. But they've given me medication and things to sort it.
But leaving your job when you've always worked has left you in financial dire straits?
Yeah.
Now, for the avoidance of doubt, I understand that you were going to move into that flat, correct?
Yeah.
What happened with the deposit? I presume you didn't get it back after the fire.
No, because obviously it was made inhabitable, and obviously because it was one of my products, the landlord obviously wouldn't give me the deposit.
Now, this is a very important question in respect of that deposit. All of the other loans are for general living. You've lent her money for things, do you see? So that she can eat, etc. The first two sums were for deposit and for rent. You were going to move into that flat. Did you envisage in 2014 that you might move into that flat then?
Yeah, so it was into it 2014, we discussed it.
Good. That's helpful to your case. In other words, it may have been that had the fire not happened, there was more than preliminary discussions that eventually you would move in and benefit from living in that space.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah.
Helpful. Madam, one of the awful things about this situation is when this fire happened, you didn't have any contents insurance.
No.
Why not?
I just didn't get around to taking it out. It was just something that's... Now I obviously wish I did, and I'd learnt from that mistake, and it was a mistake.
How do you feel today hearing this?
It's a bit hard because obviously we've been close for so long. It has pulled us apart quite a bit.
Paige, Gemma, you two are extremely close friends. You're more than friends, you're family. Sadly, this court isn't about giving people prizes. You have to have an enforceable agreement. And in respect of the overwhelming majority of your claim, there is no enforceable legal agreement because you've lent her money, I'm sure of it, I've seen it. You expected it to come back, but there was nothing in writing, which means you've got no enforceable contract. But even if you did have something in writing which said, pay me back when you're on your feet, by your own admission in this case, she hasn't been on her feet. However, that relates to all of the sums that you extended to her for general living. In respect of the deposit and the rent, that is a different scenario for this reason. When you gave her that money, you envisaged that you would move into that property, and that had been discussed, that in time you would live there. And you would have lived there but for the fire. So the deposit you gave wasn't exclusively for her benefit, but for yours also. In addition to that, the rent that was paid by you was also given for you to protect your interest in that property when eventually you got round to moving in. To that extent, as a matter of law, that deposit, sadly, it's her responsibility. It is her fault, as she says, or the fault of the product, whatever. That deposit and that rent should come back to you, and it is enforceable. Your claim is for £5,640 for loans for general living. I can't give that to you. As a matter of law, I am able to award you the £1,100 for the deposit and the £500 for the rent. That's it. This court awards you £1,600. That's money. There is an extraordinary friendship here. You've been there for each other in the most difficult times. I hope whatever happens moving forward, you'll continue to do that for each other. Yes?
Yeah.
That's the award of this court, £1,600. And in the meantime, madam, I wish you the very best of luck with your claim. Do not let it go away. That's the award of this court, £1,600.